Okay, it's story time. About October 1997. Anybody from Oklahoma's probably heard a little bit about this, but this is just going to show that I was the dude it happened to. We, me and a buddy of mine, a couple of buddies of mine, we were cruising Kickapoo in Shawnee. Was the local drag. And I had a ZX6R Ninja. He had a CBR 900RR, and we were talking smack back and forth. And there's other people out there we know stuff, and we were looking for a place to go race. We were talking about, well, if we go here, we're going to get busted. We go there, we're going to get busted. But this one guy, I ain't going to say his name, he said, hey, I work at the airport part-time, and we can get on the airport runway, and y'all can race, and, it ain't no big deal. Nobody'd be around. No cops will come up there. All right, and I have my wife with me. She's, riding on the back of the bike. We proceed to take this trail up to what we thought was the airport runway, and we asked the guys, like, well, where's this go? He said, well, it goes down about a mile. You got to stop and open a gate, and you can turn out on, I think he said 45th Street. So we line up, do a little burnout. My wife gets off the bike, thank goodness. And we take off, and I beat this guy for a quarter mile, which he passed me right afterwards flying. All because I knew how to launch a bike and he didn't. And by the time I looked up at him, and we let off, looked up at him, and said, hollered and said, hey, let's go see where the end is. And by the time there was the end, and it dropped off about a foot of concrete, went about probably 20 foot, and then had about a 12 to 15 foot drop, just straight down into a bottom, like a field. And his lights were better than mine, so he seen it before I did. He was able to shut his bike down a little more. I didn't see it till the last second, locked it up, and I proceeded to fly off of this drop. I grew up racing dirt bikes. I grew up racing motocross, so I thought, hey, I stood up on my pegs. I'm thinking, hey, I'm gonna land this dude. Well, that didn't work because crotch rocket foot pegs, a lot of people don't know, are made to snap off. It's a safety feature. So if you tip the bike over, the foot peg doesn't drag you into a curb or something. They're made to break under pressure. So when this thing hits and the bike hits bottom, those foot pegs snap off. So the bike's essentially coming back up as I'm still going down. And I'm at the tank, face to tank, no helmet. And it sent me on the ZX6R, the bottom of the fairing in front is almost like a Ram Air setup. It's curved. Well, that caught the dirt, sent me into a roll. And I rolled end over end for 175 feet. Never let go of the bike until like the last flip of it. And messed me up pretty good. Well, once it all stopped, I stood up, and I thought, my face kind of hurts. I went like this, and my nose wasn't there. It was laid flat against my face like this. Well, after watching G.I. Jane too many times, I guess, I grabbed my nose and tried to straighten it, which was the wrong thing to do. Don't ever do that. And when I did, I pushed a bone that was broke into an artery right here. And so now every time my heart beats, blood's spraying out my nose. So we sit there, and they run down there. The people that was watching, ran down there. They picked me up, took me to the ER, which is right next door, luckily, and picked him up and his bike up. And my bike's in pieces. We go and get in the hospital. They set me in the waiting room. I about bled to death in the waiting room. And then they proceeded to go, and I found out I cracked my neck in two places. Very top vertebrae, very bottom vertebrae. I shattered my nose. Cracked my skull a couple places. And if you look at me, that's why this eye is open wider than this eye, because this one got squished, and when it healed back more open. And anyway, I was in and out of the hospital from October till about March. I had to have my face reconstructed. They told me I'd never ride a bike again. And the only people that actually came to see me, other than immediate family, even though I thought was a bunch of friends, was the people I rode bikes with. So come March of the next year, which was March of '98, they cleared me. The doctor cleared me and asked if I could ride. He said, "You can do anything you want to do." You know, and funny thing is, go back a little bit. The doctor, when I asked him if I was wearing a helmet, if I'd have been okay, he said, "Yeah, it would have saved your face for the funeral." He said it'd been enough more weight to snap your neck. So after that, I started wearing a helmet, which I won't get on a bike hardly without a helmet now, but also wear a neck brace that won't let my head kick around too much. But anyway, he cleared me to go ride again. And then on the way home, I stopped by the Honda shop, which was the kind of the hangout for all the guys that rode bikes around Shawnee. And they had brand new bikes in there. And they taught me to test ride in a CBR, and I did. And it was amazing bike. And he said, "Well, fill the paperwork out on it." And I knew my credit was shot. There's no way I'm going to get this bike. And I don't know what happened. I think somebody at the bike shop pushed it through somehow. But I ended up getting a new bike, and I ended up riding with them guys for the next couple of years until bit by bit they all faded off and did their own thing. But you know, just kind of out of respect for them and the idea that they were the ones that came to see me when I was hurt, I got another bike and rode with them for a long time. And over the years, I've had race bikes and other bikes and stuff like that, but I don't think any of them will ever be as special to me as that 98 was, you know, because that was the bike I really rode. I mean, I put, you know, 12 or 15,000 miles in that thing the first summer I had it, which for a crotch rocket is just insane amount of miles for one summer, you know. But anyway, I just figured I'd tell that story and just let everybody know, yeah, I'm the guy that wrecked on the Shawnee runway, or access road. We thought it was the runway, it was the access road. And that story has floated around Shawnee for years, so I was part of that. The other guy, he ended up laying his bike over, but he didn't flip, and he ended up leaving nut prints in the gas tank. Just thinking about it chokes me up. Yeah, he left nut prints in his gas tank, and I don't think he's ever been right since then, but he's still kicking out there somewhere. And maybe he'll see this and hit me up. I don't know. Anyway, I just forgot to tell that story to y'all.